Hey, welcome back. This is Matt and you are watching Let's Get Hair. In today's video, we are breaking down one of my clients' hair transplant surgery he has done 2 years ago after our initial conversation. For all of you who don't know me, my name is Matt. I had 3 hair transplants and since 2018, I helped more than 2,000 clients of mine find the right hair transplant clinic for their hair type, expectations and budget while saving them stress, money and time trying to figure all of that out on their own. Now, let's look at my client Yona. He has done a surgery in 2023 May, so it's pretty much 2 years right now. My client was 29 when we had our conversation. Now he's in his early 30s. He's been taking finasteride prior to his hair transplant, and this was pretty much his hair condition at the end of his 20s. And guess what was the first thing I told him? You don't need a hair transplant. You don't need any hair transplant. But of course, he was one of the guys who really wanted to do it. And I really felt like if I'm not going to advise this guy the right way, he's going to choose a really bad clinic and they're going to botch him. So I'm sure many of you guys agree as well that if you could have his before result, like you would be super happy. To his defense, in his family, there's also nobody with more hair loss than a NW2 or NW2 2.5. And this is like a bonus confirmation to have for many of you guys who want to do something more aggressive, and you will be more likely to get away with it. But it's definitely not for everybody. For 90% plus of my clients who are interested in something like that, I would not recommend. Now, his donor area before the actual surgery was quite excellent from, the back and sides. We can see there is no sign of retrograde alopecia or any diffuse thinning that would make me feel worrisome. And although he has fine hair, he definitely has very, very high density. You can see it also on his temples. They're very preserved, which is another good sign to see in like a NW2 or 3 who really wants like a low hairline. Like if your temples are very intact and they wear like that even before you started finasteride, that means the temples are not so strong because you are taking oral minoxidil or finasteride, but they're naturally quite strong and they don't have the tendency to recede. Yona has very fine hair, and if you have fine hair, you need to dense pack a little bit more follicles to create high density result. So let's have a look at how it was done. So here we can see 1600 grafts being dense packed inside of the hairline. He did the no shave method. And again, I do not recommend the no shave method to most people, but if it's a low graft surgery, like 1500 graft plus minus, you could do that if it's just in the vicinity of the hairline. But if it's like a diffuse thinning, you need to work on your crown, like you need like 2,000-3,000 grafts or more, shave it all off. It's going to be much better to do it for the doctor. It's going to be easier, more precise work. So here you can also see that his initial suggestion was much more straight, and what the clinic did, it went a little bit higher up and then kind of rounded it close to the temple. They did not touch the temple, and that was a very good decision. You can see that the donor was managed excellently. It's looking minimally scabbed. It's looking like there are some crusts here and there, but overall you can see it's minimal scabbing. Probably 10-15% of harvested grafts have some larger scabs formed around them. For people with fine hair like Yona, like myself, don't be surprised if you will need a second surgery to add those extra maybe 10 grafts per centimeter square one more time, because first, it's gonna be risky because of the graft survival rate. If you want to do more than 50 grafts per square centimeter on the first session, not many doctors will be able to do it. Not many doctors know how to do it, especially with single grafts only. They are more fragile. If you want to dense pack them with 50, you need to be really skilled. In this case, it was the case. They did 45 to 50 singles per centimeter square. Now let's actually look at his, after situation 2 years later. First of all, let's look at the overall appearance. So if we look at him, not close up, but first maybe human interaction distance type of thing, it's looking very balanced, it's looking full, it's looking natural, it has a nice shape to it. I'm really liking it from the left side as well as from the right side. You can see that he's able to grow that hair long. And now let's zoom in on this hairline and see if everything has been done properly. I'm seeing a really good regrowth homogeneously, and it's not growing as a straight line here. It has some mini gaps inside. If you zoom out, it should appear appear as a full line, but once you go close, it shouldn't look straight at all, right? And that's what we are seeing, fortunately, too. Now, if we zoom in, you can see plenty of single grafts. Some singles are lighter, like this one here, this one, or this one, and some singles are a bit darker. But if we kind of go through, the hairline is like homogeneously filled with single grafts and is looking very, very natural. This is the area that he told me like he would like to maybe touch up or fix, because there is a gap, but I'm not seeing it from here. I cannot see it from here, but it seems like if he kind of combs it in a specific way like this, then he can see some type of, you know, density loss. But I mean, the hair grew in well, in my opinion. It's just when you try to comb this hair and that hair you will part to the side, like, of course you will create a ridge, and then you look like you have some gap there. This is the only small area that maybe could be fixed. I don't know how it looks, how it feels when I would be in his skin, like how it feels to style it. But I mean, from here, it's kind of the same perspective. I don't see the problem. Like from here, I don't see the problem. And from this photo, I don't see it either. Like, it depends how you style it, I guess. You kind of expose it on purpose. Like, yes, I agree. Like, there is a little bit of a, you know, gap or something, but it really depends how you style that hair. I mean, if you slick it back or if you kind of comb it this way, like it's going to be like, even if you expose it and do this type of styling, like I cannot see it. I mean, also when you look at people who don't really have androgenetic alopecia, I mean, they might have in the future, like this guy, but if you part his hair in a way that it uncovers a specific area like this here, you could tell like, yeah, this guy would need some grafts there, but it's just a specific perspective. You could make any area of your scalp look as if you would need more grafts. If you kind of try to style the hair, spread it apart, and then the thing that will remain will be a little gap, probably. I don't think it's that bad or something like this. You are coming pretty damn close to those guys, and these guys are naturals, and you are enhanced. You are surgically enhanced. And if you look at the video, I mean, the video makes it look even softer. It's actually looking fabulous. I mean, I'm really loving this. Wow. On the video, it's fabulous. I have nothing bad to say about this, except for this is not a hairline for everybody. For 90% of people in Jonas' situation, I would not do it, because you are probably in your early 20s, you just started experiencing hair loss, you are not on finasteride, and getting this type of hairline is not a good idea. But Jonas is one of a very few lucky guys who will probably be fine, even if he keeps receding more hair. He's on finasteride, so he should be fine. There's not a lot of hair loss in his family going on, but even if he were to, you know, recede more, in theory, like, he has still a lot of reserves that should be really strong. And this is his first transplanted hair cycle that starts 3 months after your surgery. Your first hair starts poking through, and then you have your first anagen phase of the transplanted hair. And that can be a year, 2 years, or up to 7 years, as the normal range of the anagen phase should be. Now, sometimes it happens that I see people shed that transplanted hair already, like between the first year and second year, and transplanted hair starts to thin out, but it doesn't mean it's gonna permanently fall out. It just starts kind of shedding and replacing that cycle. The first anagen is over prematurely between year 1 and 2, which we're not seeing with him, but some people have it, and then new hair grows back, and that hair tends to be more assimilated, looking more natural, and even having a similar color and texture to your original hair, which is something I want to discuss with Jonas as well, because we can actually see how his hair in the front, that's the transplanted hair, is looking darker, right? And if you go to the left, to the temple, it's looking like brownish, right? This is the difference that mostly people with lighter hair will notice, like red hair, lighter brown, medium brown, myself included. If you have dark hair, black hair, you won't notice. So there are two causes. First, it's the actual trauma that you cause to the hair during actual relocation from the back to the front. The shock causes the texture not to be completely synchronized with your existing hair. Also, it tends to look a bit thicker, wiry, and the color might be a little bit darker. This improves over time. It also helps when you go out on the sun because the ultraviolet light is actually degrading the melanin, that's the pigment in your hair that is responsible for your specific hair color. And unlike it's with the skin where the melanin will regenerate, in the hair it will be degraded. And as a result of this degradation, the hair starts naturally lightening over time. You can again see with people of lighter hair color like redheads, light brown, medium brown, you can see it in summer that your hair color might become a little bit more like golden and a little bit lighter as a result of the sun exposure. So that also helps for all of you guys who might experience that you have like darker transplanted hair in the front and the rest is more, you know, like lighter. But again, once your first anagen phase of your transplanted hair is going to be over, it's going to go into its catagen and then telogen phase, and the new anagen, this new anagen produces hairs that are lighter, similar or almost identical with the existing surrounding hair. And it's really an interesting phenomenon that doesn't happen to dark-haired people nearly as much. So I hope you enjoyed this breakdown, guys. If you want me to break down your case or react to your hair transplant, make sure you email me to info@letsgethair.com. I will be randomly selecting few cases, and maybe it's gonna be you, as long as you are fine with me sharing this publicly. So thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to see you in another video. Take care.